You wish to consult me? I took up my oath long ago, when I swore bloody vengeance against any who defied Lolth. Now, I myself have sinned against the Spider Queen. Though my faith is shattered, my oath endures. I am sworn to destroy all those who serve the Absolute. It is not noble, it is necessary. If we do not destroy the cultists, they will destroy everything. We are all that stands between this world and annihilation. I fought at his side once, shortly after my conversion. Before the battle, he was everything a general should be. A charismatic leader with a brilliant strategic mind. And when the fighting began, he led his troops from the front and cut through the enemy like a scythe through stalks. Blows and arrows rained down on him, and before long, his face was a mask of blood. But he did not fall. He did not even falter. When we won the day, Ketheric's armor was bent and shattered, but his flesh was unmarked. No, we need to hit him smarter. This battle, like most, will be won or lost before the fighting begins. There is a connection to this night song of Balthazar's, whatever or whoever it might be. We must find it and destroy it. I was the Absolute's dagger. I remember every throat that it held me to, and every drop of blood it forced me to spill. I take no responsibility for the lives I took. I did nothing in the Absolute's name. I was merely a weapon that it wielded. I would rather die than endure it again. The tadpole, the Absolute. They work together like a drug. I did not feel I was compelled to act against my will. I felt ecstatic to serve. Every action seemed a deliberate choice. The best choice. Even though I could no more have resisted its commands than flesh can resist decay. Even rational minds like ours cannot reject such a powerful influence. The Absolute can make the impossible seem inevitable. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is tolerable, but her faith in the Lady of Loss is poisonous. The gods are the source of our woes. Though I concede that Shah is far from the worst of them. The Night Singer has some admirable qualities. Far more than her insipid sister. But her followers are repressed. Take the child Shadowheart. She does not even know who she is, but still manages to pity herself. The very concept of Sharan worship is self-indulgent. They would have you think every whispered word and hidden thought is of value. But it is not so. I have performed 1,000 interrogations, squeezing out the most guarded secrets held in heart, mind, and soul. I can tell you this. When the trivial parts have been whittled away and I have sifted through what remains, in most cases, a person amounts to nothing at all. He's been deprived of freedom and strong blood for so long that he is addicted to both. While those addictions have their hold on him, he is still a slave. Free. What purpose does he have that does not involve his master? He fears him, he hates him, he dreams of him, and he will either kill him or die trying. Astarion is no more free of Cazador than you or I are free of our tadpoles. He will only be free when Cazador is dead, and that is as it should be. When the time comes, we must hope that he does not only take Cazador's long life, but the power that has sustained him as well. I have encountered few Githyanki in my life. Those that I did were raiders. They croaked out pleas for mercy in their alien tongue as they died. Meeting Lae'zel makes me wish I knew more of their culture. I did. She told me that she has nothing to teach that cannot be learned through observation of her prowess in combat. Perhaps she is right. She certainly cuts a striking figure in battle. There is a precision to her ferocity that I admire. I think I am beginning to. In spite of her youth, there is a patience and precision in Lae'zel's thoughts and actions that I admire. Those qualities will strengthen as she matures. The wizard? No. It is pointless. In my experience, the moment they leave their libraries, wizards have the life expectancy of a gnome in a war. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them. He is exceedingly self-righteous. Amusing, considering he bound himself to a devil. Will doesn't just have blood and dirt on his hands. He has stains on his soul. Those last more than a lifetime. It is as it should be. Purity of soul and deed will not help us to survive the Absolute. I would rather be allied with a warlock than the spoiled son of a noble who has more experience with diplomats than devils. I have never known anyone so ferocious and unassailable in battle, and yet so fragile and impermanent in their very being. I often think of mortality as a curse. In time, all that I am and all that I have known and learned will be lost. In time, our cities will be dust. Karlach does not seem to have such anxieties. Perhaps because she cannot afford to. She exists in the moment, and she will burn out and be gone in a moment. There is something very beautiful about that.
Minthara's something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen. Alas, no. The charm Elminster granted me requires my death as the spark that will light the orb's fuse. Making myself invulnerable, immortal, or in any other fashion unkillable would render it useless. And gods only know what it might do to the orb itself. Still, I see no harm in learning what we can about this night song. And if we manage to find it, the harm will be all Ketheric's. So, well worth indulging our curiosity.
No time to rest.
At your command.
finish the thought.
But you really sure we can trust someone who's infected?
Yes. Until Jahira gives me reason to think otherwise.
Ah, there you are. Everyone seems to be quite a flutter. Do you know why? You did? But that means... Wulbrin!
Mole needs us. I know, but we need a plan.
I agree, sir. This gives us time to regroup.
I know you're keen.
Wulbrin!
I heard you might be about. How the devil did you get stuck here, Barkas?
I'm not stuck. I came to find you, of course.
Why would you do a foolish thing like that? Really, Barkas?
Unfortunately for me, you're my friend. Rescuing you from mortal peril is my right.
But you didn't rescue me, did you? I rescued myself, with the aid of this... helper.
Ah, it's you. I should have guessed. Thank you very much for your help finding Wulbrin.
You don't belong here, Barkas. As soon as the way is clear, pack up and head to Baldur's Gate.
But... Wulbrin... The rune powder... We need to discuss what you're going to...
I said go home!
Please, that isn't necessary.
Indeed. Neither of you has any clue what's at stake. And why should you? It's Iron Hand gnome business. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a great deal to do.
Well, there we have it. Wulbrin is safe and sound. Thanks to you. I owe you a great deal. The brilliant retort, for starters. Here you are. As promised. I give you the brilliant retort. Now, I believe our business is well and truly concluded. Don't judge him too harshly. He's been through a lot. When he's had some rest, he'll be back to his usual self. Well, once you're used to someone, you're used to them. Well, perhaps Wulbrin is right. Perhaps I ought to return to Baldur's Gate. Oh, that's all right. I'm a patient fellow. I'm sure you'll clear a path for everyone soon enough.
Art? Hail,
I
Art.
know you're keen.
Can you hear me?
Be patient.
Tragedy.
Chance will come. Until then, watch. Keep...
That parasite of yours could prove useful. Until it kills you.
Traitors among us. A child taken. And still I can only feel relief. If they had taken Isabel too, Do you? Well, let us not leave you in suspense, then. You are right. She is. Because it isn't my tale to tell. And because in truth, I do not know the half of it. Only this. If she wished to see us drowned in darkness, Isabel needn't have lifted a finger. Instead, she holds out her hand. I choose to take it. I choose to trust. And not just because I have no other choice. If it will help, only remember, I bear more blame for the Shadow Curse than Isabel does. And she can no more control her parentage than you can that thing in your head. She'll extend that protection to you too, if you see her. You've shown me how well you can sniff out secrets. I'd like to see you turn that nose upon Ketheric Thorn.
I agree, sir. This gives us time to regroup.
The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Gruesome, isn't it? I'm glad you survived the encounter, at least. Did you learn anything more? Chosen? Oh, that's 3 masters Ketheric has served. Our paladin isn't very picky. He's aligned himself with mind flayers. But I cannot see what he gains. Perhaps we can force it out of him once we have him up against a wall. Was there anything else? The great general is paranoid. Good. That means he's protecting something. I'll wager it's the source of his invulnerability. He'd protect that at any cost. Was there anything else? Then speak. The same way hoppers learn of anything. Poking noses where they don't belong. We sent an agent to infiltrate this cult. The latest fad among the city's bored nobility, I thought. Until that same agent returned and tried to plant a knife in my neck. My first encounter with a true soul. I'm glad ours ended on friendlier terms. From there, I made some inquiries of my own. Saw firsthand how easily the cult could turn friend to foe with but the twist of a tadpole. And so I gathered my harpers and came to the source. Moonrise Towers.
No one but us.
Yes? I'm sure you would. Now, if you're done rifling through my things...
You did well to help those people escape Ketheric. Every soul saved is a blessing, and you're raining them upon us.
An unfortunate coincidence. I hope never to meet the wicked man who hemorrhaged shadows over this peaceful village.
May we be lucky enough to see many more. Almost laughable that he sees himself fit to judge anyone. Did you learn anything about how we might defeat him? That's incredible news. I won't ask for the specifics as to how you uncovered that, but I'm grateful you've done whatever it takes. I can't believe there's an end in sight. Thank you. Go on then. It belongs to the goddess Shar. According to the Harpers, it fell here when they defeated Ketheric, the one who tried to have me kidnapped. I suppose they didn't defeat him quite hard enough. Right place, right time. When a cleric of Selûne stumbles into a Sharan shadow, she's bound to set it to rights, at any cost. I could say the same. But perhaps we should save the trivia till we're on the other side of this thing. Promise not to die, and we'll celebrate with our life stories. Moon and shadow, light and dark, divine sisters ever at war. And this place has become one more battlefield. Sometimes life forces us to choose sides. Luckily, sometimes the choice is obvious.
I don't know, guy.
Go on.
Matter. Mole needs us. I know, but we need a plan. Let's just go already. But we don't even know the way to Moonrise. That's why we should leave now.
I know you're keen, Ellen. Be patient. Your chance will come. Until then, keep watch. Keep wary.
This place gives you...
Something good here, I hope.
Our enemies still draw breath.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the Scalpel indeed is an extension of Shah. See how the patient reacts when I but stroke the right nerve. Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps where it should stroke. We can hardly hear the patient's sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. You are no sister, but that matters none. Every student is welcome. Behold, sisters, the very face of ignorance, one who mistakes tenderness for torture. Go on, acquaint the face of ignorance with the true object of our studies.
Absence.
Absence. No other word captures the heart of Shah so very perfectly. It is the Scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace.
He's just like Khazad-dûr. Utterly insane.
See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration of being? If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
But you, look how the succor of Shah eludes you. See how painfully present you remain. We do not wish to see you suffer so. Let us cure you. Their incisions are, as yet, still streaked with imprecision. That much I must concede. How to steady their hands, I wonder. I see now. By example, I must edify and quell the light that blinds us. Come, sisters, soothe me.
Searching.
Ah, my favorite.
Children, one and all. Peace.
Gift of nothing. Her gift.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Can you feel it? The hurting? Here, darling. Let me soothe the pain.
Training. Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Master?
Ah, my fa-
No time to rest.
My faith will guide me.
Rest in shadow.
Lady's embrace.
Hello.
Peace.
What a day. With pleasure. Let's try this. It's mine now.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. these things have stayed interesting.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Let's get going.
What do we have here? Nothing.